You Orns. Greetings, fellow Watford fans. Omar here, and welcome back to the You Orns Friday Focus on a brand new season for your Watford men's first team in the Sky Bet Championship, which begins tomorrow. The season does. I mean, I know there's probably a game tonight, but in earnest, the season begins tomorrow, certainly for your Golden Boys, as we take on Charlton Athletic at the Valley in South London. London. It's the second consecutive season where we've opened up against a team in South London. Last season, it was Millwall at the Den, and we were very successful on that day with a 3-2 victory. What will it be like tomorrow, you might be wondering? I'm sure you are. Well, I'm here to talk about what I think will happen tomorrow for our Golden Boys when they take on a Charlton Athletic side that are newly promoted to the Championship off the back of that playoff final, that very dramatic playoff final that they experienced at Wembley just a few short months ago. And I think Watford are going to be really in for it tomorrow, I have to say, because Charlton Athletic, as a newly promoted side, will be in at home with plenty to prove. So they're going to create a lot of headaches for us. Watford are going to have to be ready for those headaches with some aspirin and a fight on their hands to fight back against the Charlton side, who I think are going to pose a lot of difficulty for Watford. I'll tell you why. Watford, for as really good as these signings are on paper, are going to be really, I think, given an initiation to the championship. At least some of the new boys on Watford are going to really experience that tomorrow with some really rough and tumble football. So Watford are going to have to be able to keep their composure in this game. I think composure and game management are going to be two very important things tomorrow for the Golden Boys, because this Charlton side is going to want to show its fans why they are in the championship for the first time in a number of years. And Watford are going to have to be switched on at all times and not be naive. Now, we have a new manager in Paolo Pezzolano, and I have certainly some concerns. I don't really know much about him, quite frankly. And, I don't know how it's going to look tomorrow. I really don't know how he's going to set up tomorrow. We don't know until we get that starting lineup that is unveiled about an hour before the game starts. But Paolo Pezzolano, I know he's a good manager. In other places, he's done some good things. But the English Championship is a different animal altogether. And there's really going to be a rude awakening, I think, tomorrow. The Golden Boys are going to go into an environment that's hostile, difficult to play in, and they're going to have to weather an almighty storm in this game. Charlton are going to go full pedal to the metal, and they're going to be hell bent for their task. So Watford are going to have to be able to match the intensity of Charlton, certainly weather the storm, and then begin to play the game that they need to play. And the ball retention and the constant fighting for the ball for Watford is what this new manager's style is about for the most part, as far as I know, and what I've learned from him and learned about him, I should say. But in the Championship, a lot of this is about physicality. It's not the Premier League. It's about who can stick to the task, who can do the bread and butter defending, and who can, between these two teams, outlast the other, because that means a full 95 minutes of football. And I certainly think that that's what Watford have to be guarding for and guarding against letting down their guard late on. Now, they'll be without Matty Pollock. I think that's an important miss tomorrow. He gives you some steel at the back. He'll be out for perhaps as much as a month with that hamstring injury he picked up against Deportivo La Coruña in the friendly that Watford played last week. And they'll also be without Pierre Duoma for about a month as well. He has a thigh injury. And there's one or two other players who are going to be out as well. Georgie, we don't know yet. There's a toe scan that he's supposed to get results from, according to various sources like the Watford Observer. And we are yet to find out what that's like for him. But a lot of the other players will be available, which is really good news. Most of the other players will be available tomorrow. We'll just see how things go. How will the new boys do? Well, we'll find out. Of course, Loser is not one of the new boys, and nor is Sissoko. They are expected to be in the starting lineup. Agil Selvik is not a new boy. He will be certainly in between the sticks for Watford as the number one goalkeeper for us. And of course, it's great to see Kevin back. It's great to see James Abankwah back. and they have the experience of playing in the championship, as does Mamadou Doumbia. I think Doumbia will be featured in the game, and of course, Luca, the new striker, will also be in the game. But who else will be part of that lineup? TDB, perhaps he will be there now that Georgie is out, or at least pending out. We don't know for sure if he's going to be out. But certainly, I think there'll be some rearrangements in midfield. Hector Cipriano will be part of that starting lineup. I'm fairly confident of that. But we will see. Tom Ince, perhaps. There's an embarrassment of riches, and that's what makes this season so promising on paper, because the owner has done an excellent job with his summer signings and with the new addition just today of Max Aline in a defense at centre back from Manchester City, a 20-year-old lad who will bring us, I think, some dynamism and versatility. Is very promising. Maybe he'll even get started. He may come off the bench in the game. We definitely need some fortification and some physicality, because I think that's perhaps where we're lacking enough physicality. We need more of that in our squad. We have some of it with some of these new signings, but I think we need a little bit more of it to deal with what is going to be a very physically demanding 46 game championship. And I really do believe that it's going to be a difficult game for Watford tomorrow. Now, listen, I'd be happy to be wrong with the prediction I'm about to make. And if Watford are going to get two additional players, according to the Watford Observer, that they're in line to try to get two other players, including a midfielder, then that's promising as well. I think they'd be coming in too late to do anything for tomorrow's game. But I will also say that this game is going to be a tough one for Watford. And for me, I see a Charlton victory. I know that sounds like blasphemy to say that for the start of a season, but I just am going to be realistic and honest with my assessments as ever. And I do think that Charlton will absolutely make life miserable for Watford tomorrow. If I'm wrong about that, I will be happy to be wrong. A lot of my predictions last season were spot on, and look, I want to be wrong about this. I predicted a draw last time for the very first game of last season against Millwall, and we ended up winning. So again, not quite spot on in that case, but I think in this game tomorrow, it's going to be a rough initiation for Watford. If we can get a draw, we'll be very lucky tomorrow. But I do think I just have this tough, bad feeling that Charlton are going to find a way through and win this game tomorrow. They're coming back into a league where they've not been for a long time. If you want to make the argument that that is going to be their Achilles heel and they're going to be brand new to the championship as well, you could. But being at home makes a huge difference, I think, in a game like this one. If Charlton were playing at the Vic, I would put Watford as comfortable favourites to win the game. But the fact that Charlton are at home with their home fans, and granted, 3,000 plus of our fans are going to be there, and congratulations to all the Watford faithful that have sold out the place at the Valley for their allocation tomorrow. And that's a really good thing. And Watford fans are always engaged, always loud, always in it, no matter what, whether we're down 5-0 or up 5-0 on the road. We're always there to support the lads. And that's exactly what we need to continue to do. And we will do that no problem tomorrow. I'm just thinking that this game is going to be a really tough one for Watford to win. And let me be wrong on that, please. But my prediction tomorrow is Charlton 2, Watford 1. That is my prediction for tomorrow. And we'll see what happens. We'll absolutely see what happens tomorrow. Very little to go on because, of course, we've not seen these two teams in action in a real championship game yet. We've seen pre-seasons, obviously. For Watford fans, we've seen pre-seasons. We've seen some of the things, but you can't really go on 3 or 4 games in a preseason. You're going to have to go on what you see starting tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. at the Valley in South London. Watford visit Charlton. Wow, this is going to be quite a game, but I do think that Charlton are going to end up winning the game. So there we go. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, for the sake of our lads. Anyway, I hope for all the best, and I wish Watford all the best tomorrow, as ever. And this has been, wow, it's unbelievable. This is the first edition of a brand new season of You Orns. Oh, time just flies by. This has been the You Orns Friday Focus.